Hi everybody, I'm Angela Ferry, bodyworker, herbalist, and educator. So right now I want to talk about the process of healing. A lot of people ask the question right off the bat is, how long is this going to take? So to have a general estimate is you'll want to, forever how long you've been dealing with this, say 3 years, it'll take about 3 months of consistent attention on your part. So basically it equates to, for every year you've been dealing with something, it'll take a month of these healing protocols consistently adhered to shift and get you into a place of well-being, which is certainly a worthwhile goal. So the healing process also, just to give you an idea of what it's going to entail, you're going to be refraining from having certain foods. You're going to need to avoid substances, behaviors, and even people sometimes when you're on this journey, if it's long enough. So the other thing you'll be doing is refining your dietary choices, because as we know, lots of people are intolerant to gluten or sometimes nuts, even eggs, dairy. So one of the things we'll do here is try to find out what specifically is inflammatory to your system, and avoid those foods, and we can make sure others are in your diet. And of course that is fresh, local, organic is best. Not only good for you, but good for the planet. And it doesn't, not to diminish how good it is for us ourselves. You'll also likely be taking herbs and supplements, maybe more than you're used to, at least for a while. And that's just, so right now we've covered foods and herbs and supplements for the most part. You'll also want to include bodywork, acupuncture, psychotherapy, whatever is most relevant to your situation. Sometimes all of them if you can. Once a week for each. I don't mean to do each one once a week. I mean, if you see a massage therapist one week and acupuncturist the next week, psychotherapists will probably want to see you more often. But all of these other therapies are going to support your journey, keep you on track, help you feeling good and focused. So it's important to consider it's not just a one-dimensional approach. My approach is mind, body, and spirit. And so just kind of wanting to share more about those commitments too. This is one part of it, but there are other parts that need to be put in place as well. The other thing you'll want to be doing is incorporating movement into your life. You may already do that, but at least if you haven't, you'll want to. If it's only just walking for 20 minutes 3 times a week, that's fine, and you can build on that as you feel strong enough. But movement's really important. It's just walking sort of gives your whole spine and your organs a massage. And hopefully you can do it somewhere where there's a lot of nature. It's not absolutely necessary, but nature somehow, just being immersed, is healing in and of itself. So, I mentioned too that sometimes you're going to want to avoid situations and even people, because people can derail you as well. And getting derailed doesn't just come from other people, it comes from our own resistance. Or we just get off track for whatever reason, and it's just being human. You don't, pause there. It doesn't help to beat yourself up, so I'm really encouraging you to be kind to yourself and patient, and just say, okay, I'm trying to get back on track. I'm not quite there, but that's my intention. And where your intention and attention is what's going to gain energy. But be kind to yourself, because it's not easy to make all kinds of changes, and you'll want to do it slowly. You can't do everything at once. I suggest when I'm seeing them in person, I'll make a list of things and prioritize them. And you can do that for yourself if you're called, like, oh, this I can do, I'm not quite ready for that. That's perfectly fine. You just don't want to put it off indefinitely, because it's a holistic way of regaining health. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? So as we're implementing changes, taking supplements, herbs, and perhaps exercising more, whatever it is, if we're doing too much too fast for our system, we'll run into something called a healing crisis. And that looks like suddenly you don't feel so well. You have low energy, you have a headache, you might have breakouts, you might feel nauseous, have brain fog, or a chronic condition you have will just be exacerbated. And you'll think, oh, I'm doing all this good stuff for myself. Why am I feeling so bad? Well, because you're having a healing crisis. You're giving your body what it needs now, and so it's healing at a cellular level, and so the cells are also throwing off toxins and cellular waste that's been stagnant in your system for a long time. And if that happens too fast, the symptoms I just mentioned will arise again. So what you'll want to do is just back off on, the amount, the dosage of herbs, the dosage of supplements, kind of slow down on the exercise. Just try a few things and you'll feel better. And then just stay there for a while. Because that way you can start feeling better and not be discouraged. But it does happen that resistance arises, and sometimes healing crises arise, and you just want to know that is a possibility, and now you know what to do about it. So I want to make sure you're supported there. Well, so your commitment to implementing at least most of the changes that this process is providing is definitely going to give you positive results. You're going to feel better slowly. It's not going to happen overnight, but you're going to notice, oh, I'm not as broken out, I'm not as bloated, I have a little more energy, I could think more clearly. Just a little at a time, it's going to get better, and that's enough. It's encouraging. It's like, oh, what I'm doing is working, and it's empowering to know that you can take control of different aspects of your life and have such positive change. So I'm counting on you being able to do that for yourself. I really hope you can. And I'm here for any questions you may have, and also any feedback you'd like to share with me. There we are.